But imagine a giant Joe Rogan pussy right up there, I mean, elevated,
like a jellyfish.
teleported up into Joe Rogan's vagina. I want the memes of Joe Rogan's vagina. You imagine how big it's about to be. Made obsolete by our own creation.
Indeed.
Made obsolete by our own creation.
Indeed.
Made obsolete by our own.
Hello and welcome to this thing. I'm Dane, but I'm not alone. I've got with me the world's cringiest CEO slash woman using the podcast of her deceased husband.
Of people saying I'm not fit to be CEO, and I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband. And the list goes on and on and on.
And I get on camera and I show everybody how batshit crazy I am. And the evidence goes on and on and on.
Jennifer Welch fucking went goblin mode here, man. That's fucking incredible. Like she committed to the bit, and we salute her for that. How y'all doing, Morgan, Bob?
I am not a goblin, but I respect all of my goblin allies, apparently.
I take peace and solace in seeing that Erica Kirk has joined Cobra.
I just think it's an interesting move to be like, my husband was assassinated, so I'm going to dress like an assassin.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like
it is a well-known fact of wildlife biology that snipers in their natural habitat do not kill one another. So camouflaging yourself as a sniper is excellent protection against predators in the wild.
I am not sure the people at Stalingrad would agree with that. But
if she was not the CEO of a literal fucking modern Hitler youth brainwashing organization that's funded by oil company billionaires and shit, if she was not that, I would be like, man, it was probably really traumatizing or re-traumatizing for her the other night with that's where she was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and she was clearly, I think, at least performing being very upset on the way out the door. That probably fucked her up and sent her down a spiral, and she's kind of behaving in some erratic ways, but she's been behaving in erratic ways this entire time. And she seems to just be kind of an unhinged person. And I don't feel bad for her. So
I do feel bad for her. But not that bad. Bad things happen to you and your family, and that fucking sucks. You are perpetuating the system that enabled that to happen.
What was that? Oh my God. I think we're being attacked. All right.
For fun and profit, quite literally.
Yeah.
Like fix your heart, I guess. You haven't learned anything, and that's the real shame.
True. So the thing that was going on right before whenever the weird intro there with for some reason sometimes I can't scroll up on my menu here, so like where the videos, the little clips that I have beforehand, I set it to loop, so it would loop that stream starting soon video until we were ready to start, and if I hadn't figured out a way to get out of it, you would have just heard the Joe Rogan's vagina thing for like 5 minutes straight,
and that's horrifying.
Yeah.
I have a question for the audience if you want to write in. What is Alex Jones?
I have a question.
How, not why, not who, what.
Oh, Mark, yeah, I remember that. Jesus Christ. She was like just basically insinuating that because he said that whenever he runs at night, this is Charlie told Candace, sometimes when he runs at night, he will run past a street light and it will go out. And then whenever he's run past it, it will turn back on.
Oh,
and so she was like, basically, he's an X-Man, right? He was an
I'm an X-Man.
Or he's possessed by a demon.
Yeah, could be that. I mean, most likely that. But I mean, X-Men have been possessed by demons before too, so yeah.
I mean, that's like Magic's whole shtick, right?
Yeah.
Like that's her whole.
Rest in. Oh, Jerry Conway's gone. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that happened the other day.
Fuck. Yeah.
One of the originals. Like,
Hopefully he got to see the Punisher thing before, but probably not. But I mean, hopefully maybe they did let him see it. You know.
You mean Punisher One Last Kill?
Yeah.
They might have. I'm almost certain they would have if it was ready to go.
And if I don't know what state he was in, honestly, but like
yeah.
man, that's
Yeah. They would have at least offered him the opportunity to. And he also got to live to see John Bernthal be the Punisher anyway.
True.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he knew that. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, I'm somebody who got the literal the AOK, Mr. Conway, about what I had to say about the Punisher in my Punisher videos. So,
oh damn,
it's something. I mean, it was a Twitter nod kind of thing, but
sure. Still, that's rad.
Looking forward.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you send it to him, or did you just post it and he liked it, or what?
So it was during the 2020 summer after George Floyd and stuff. Whenever we started seeing cops around with the Punisher skull, and he kind of did his he did a campaign where he like had someone design or he had a few people design different like competing new Punisher logos.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was saying that trying to basically get lobbying Marvel to use that, and then also selling merch with it, and the money went to BLM or whatever. And that was pretty cool. So I made I'd made my videos months prior to that, but at that point I then took the two videos, part 1 and 2, and I trimmed out a lot of the crap that was unnecessary, and I just trimmed it down to here's what the Punisher should be about, here's what he's not about, and here's why it's bad, and made it like basically half as long one video, 45 minutes instead of two, totaling hour and a half. And I put that up, and then I sent it to him whenever I saw he was very active about the topic at the time. So, I asked him what he thought.
Nice,
Awesome.
Nice.
But
that's super rad.
Yeah, man, that sucks. I mean, I guess it happens, but I didn't. All right. Do have a poll here that I'm gonna go ahead and try and show. This is the first time we've done this here.
Oh boy, got a poll.
Uh-oh.
Is Daredevil Born Again rad as fuck? 1, fuck yep. 2, shit nah.
Yeah, because there's been some chatter lately about how it apparently has lost 50% of its original audience, and that means the show is doomed.
Oh, I don't know if that's the case. I just
I mean, they've already shot season 3, so they're gonna air it.
Yeah,
they seem pretty committed to getting at least these 3 seasons out, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that whole discourse is just the usual chud catastrophizing of completely normal things from television industry. Maybe it's gone beyond chuddery now.
I do think the 50% thing is a real statistic, so it's like at least they're basing it on something real this time.
Yeah, but what I mean is that it is normal for the second season of a show to lose a significant portion of the viewership from the first season.
Or you mean
studios incorporate that into their model of what success looks like.
You mean like how they will seize on a movie that has a 68% drop in its second weekend?
Yeah,
right.
A Marvel movie that is intentionally made to have a big opening weekend, and then expected to some degree that it's going to drop at least 50%. They probably expect.
Like studios know that there's going to be a drop off of the second week of a movie or the second season of a show, and they include that in their internal calculus of what constitutes success for that project. And then people make videos going, "Oh, it lost 50%. The show is doomed," or just click farming. That's all they're doing.
Pretty much. Well, it's like when Eric July had for his issue 1 for Isom had this big thing, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to maintain it." It's like, well, no. Comic book, like any comic book, novel, series, what have you, loses about 50% readership from issue 1 or volume 1 or book 1 to.
Yeah, that's why I said with the most confidence I've ever said anything in that when I first covered him that number 1, might do well or is probably going to do well, or maybe I made it after, I forget. But yeah, do well. But then after that, I promise it's going to be a much different story. And now here we are. In matter of fact, and we can talk about this because it's kind of part of the overall thing that I wanted to look at. He is now doing what he has always said was a bad thing. He talked shit on having distributors because he said that's a middleman. That's somebody else taking a slice out of your money when you can just sell directly to the customers, right? That's something he's said for years now since he started the Rippaverse. Now he is very, very proud to have announced a partnership with a global distribution company called Hatchet or something.
Hatchet Media?
Yeah, Eric DeBunks has a video on it. And yeah, it seems like he's just going against everything. Not only that, but he's actually saying that he's never going to do all the shit talking and stuff like that he's done in the past. He's not going to criticize other people and other media and stuff. And he said it's just silly that he ever did for so long once he started the Rippaverse because he's a serious business and blah blah blah. And it's just so fucking funny. And he is according to Eric's research, has deleted several videos totaling over 100,000 views in the last week. So it seems like he's trying to clean up his image. For some reason, he's worried about people seeing something that he's said or done, and he's swearing that he is not going to be coming back to doing that kind of content. That he's going to talk about the Rippaverse only. So whatever it is, he feels it's either. I mean, he presents it as if this is this great opportunity that he's earned with all his hard work and sales and stuff. When really, it just seems like yet another pivot to doing a thing that he swore he wouldn't do and said he was against. Because, as everybody can tell, the Rippaverse is not fucking doing well. And so apparently this Rippaverse comics in hands across the world, blah, 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 and in shops and stuff where he previously said that he didn't want to sell them. So,
like how, anyways, yeah. So,
yeah,
I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but like, I'm going to make a comic book. I'm going to make an indie book. Also, I don't want it in comic stores.
Yeah, and Sean makes a good point here that I've made before in my own videos about the Rings of Power, that we're living in the streaming era now. So what a lot of people do is watch the first episode of a show and then they wait until the entire season is available. And then they come back at the end and binge watch the entire thing. So there's a big drop off of numbers right after the first episode. But then after the final episode drops, they see a huge surge in viewership. And this happens to so many shows that people make clickbait about that it's ridiculous.
It really is pretty crazy. And like with the new the Darth Maul Star Wars show that's on, I haven't watched it yet because I have a finite amount of time and I've been watching Daredevil for this.
Really very good. People like it.
People seem to like it. I just the concept I was kind of lukewarm on, but
well, I mean, I was kind of like, really? Darth Maul? He's like kind of half the man he used to be, I thought.
A couple of times now. But apparently since that show's come out, like Acolyte has had this big viewing resurgence.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's kind of crazy.
And so that's just how streaming works.
And apparently She-Hulk was the most popular show on the Disney platform when it was airing or shortly after it aired I don't know how Disney gauges this, but with non-core Marvel audience viewers, apparently.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember. I think maybe it was it last Christmas time or something that suddenly for an entire weekend, The Last Jedi was the most watched movie on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how this happens.
That's because it's a good movie.
Right. It's the best. It's objectively the best. Yep. But I've got to go get something out of the mail real quick for Jen's late birthday present.
Oh, happy birthday!
But I do want to kick over to you guys talking about any kind of. Have you seen any chud failings lately, or grifter specifically failings? Like, because I've been seeing some specific signs of stuff. If you want to, you could kind of play that video that's loaded up in the Twitter clip there. It's up to y'all.
Sure. Yeah, that one. Okay, yeah.
Perform in drag for children. That's not grooming.
If it's in sexual in nature, then that would absolutely be.
Isn't drag sexual in nature? Isn't that the definition of drag?
No, I've met a variety.
You've been to very wholesome drag shows.
I know.
Bring Granny out to the drag show. I don't think so.
I mean, quite literally, I've watched drag shows at like old folks' homes and stuff like that. Which
you shouldn't do that either. Don't do that.
But regardless,
don't do the drag for the kids. Don't do the drag for the grannies. Just don't do the drag.
Now you're grooming Granny too.
Don't do that. Don't.
So you brought up.
What is wrong with entertaining Granny?
Yeah. For those who don't know, the person with the mic being held in front of their face, the person in the audience, is a content creator named EdgierThanThou, who is a friend of the podcast.
Yeah,
and the other clip has them. They use they them pronouns. The other clip, which I guess we can play after this one, has them bringing up a graph that they made a video about. So, like, part of Edgier's content is graph porn. They've made several videos with very high views about graphs that have been trending at that particular time of the video on social media that are about like trans mass shooters or things like that. And they will make a video showing how Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles specifically are lying using the data from that graph. And I think that they confront Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles about that in the other clip.
Yeah, I'll play that one.
How many people is that stat based on? Like, how many transgender shooters is that stat based on? Because you cited it, I mean, you didn't cite your source, so I had to go digging for it. So I was curious if you knew.
This is a graph from when?
About 7 months ago. It came up. It was going around on Twitter.
Do I have all the details of a graph that I posted 7 months ago in my head right now?
No, well, ballpark, just approximate.
I guess you have the answer, so go ahead and tell us.
I do. It's one person. So you cited a per million statistic based on one person as evidence that there's some sort of epidemic of transgender violence going around this country.
But there have obviously been multiple transgender shooters just in the last couple of years.
I'm not denying any sort of specific individual instance. I'm talking about this is a statistic in which you compared these numbers for all of these other populations are significantly lower than they would be with actual statistics. I was just curious, like, I want to understand, like, your process here. Why you wouldn't cite that source? Like, is it just because you know it's embarrassing that you only cited it off of, or based it off of one person? Or, like, more to the point, like, why do you have to lie to make your point? You know, why do you have to, if there's this epidemic going around, why do you have to make shit up in order to make the argument?
Why do you have to make shit up?
Well, first of all, I think as someone who believes that women have penises, you're not one to lecture people for lying. So
that's not a denial. You notice that's not him denying.
That is not a denial. That is him appealing to the seals in the audience so they can clap along. Not a denial.
You know, I mean, like, Jay Kung, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. The thing is that the reason why I still think it's valuable for somebody to do something like this, and the reason, you know, Malachi knew this going into it as well. But what this does is it just puts it on display to where, you know, like, here's an objective lie that has been proven that he told. And the way that he handles it is, instead of going, oh, yo, no, or you're misunderstanding the data or anything that might have, you know, tried to save some face, he just goes right to, oh, women don't have penises and you're a liar because, well, like, you know, it's just fucking, it's so stupid. And that's important to have that kind of thing on display every once in a while, because while we may know it, there are others that maybe don't, or definitely don't. And
I think that's the other part of it, is that, like, a big reason why transphobes can get away with what they get away with is that most people just don't know a trans person and don't know anything about them. So just having it out there, right, is a big deal.
Yep.
And you know, we talk about, like, should we platform fascists? Well, this is fascist platforming Malachi. This is from the Daily Wire's Twitter page.
Yep, they posted this, like, the same, like, within a couple of hours of it happening. It seems like they posted it, like they thought this was a win somehow. And to people that are already part of the crowd, called the cult, rather, it is. You hear people cheering on this because it doesn't even matter. They could just say pee pee poo poo shit farts butts and I hate trans people, and people be like, oh yeah. You know, it doesn't matter what they say, and that is also important to put on display for anyone that's not in the cult, right? You know, it reinforces to those of us who are already aware that, like, yeah, oh wow, they are just the biggest pieces of grifter shit. You know, Daily Wire is literally funded by, you know, oil billionaires and shit. It's dark money that's funneled to them to get them to focus on this culture war shit, focus on trans people, because if they don't have a certain amount of the population focused on that and getting upset about that, we might actually go, wait a second, you motherfuckers are raping our planet and killing us, you know?
Yeah, it's also important to do this for the benefit of people who might come across this video who are, for lack of a better word, on the fence, or for future scholars and historians and researchers to have as a good shorthand of these people's deception, because this is it just to create a record that bears witness to their evil, more or less.
Right.
Did was that just the one clip so far? There's a couple.
We played both.
Okay, cool.
We played the second one first, I think, and not all of it.
We did not finish this one here. I'll pop back up.
But I felt that Malachi did a much stronger job.
Why?
I think here is an important part of this, so we should play this last part of this other clip.
Why have drag queens around kids at all? Why do that?
Because it's a goofy art form for the same reason you have any sort of whatever. I don't know. Like,
what's the art?
Yeah, I want to remind everybody, the man who just asked what's the art is the man who starred in Am I Racist? Lady Ballers, and then also just his daily fucking content that he puts out, and he wants to know he wants to explain to him what the art is, as if he has a fucking even a remotely human concept of what art actually is.
So this clarified something for me, because let me you blow this up to full screen.
Yeah.
These are two men. These men did not dress themselves.
No.
These men are on stage. They have makeup on. They have stylists.
And they probably know how to apply makeup as well.
They probably do.
Yep.
So the difference between a drag performer and these two is that these two actually groom people and then just blame drag performers for it.
Yeah. I was going to say that I felt in the second clip, Malachi doesn't do as good a job as they did in the first clip.
The thing that these guys are paid for is to deflect and to make stupid points to literally thought terminating cliches. That's really what their talent is, creating thought terminating cliches. And so it's not that hard especially whenever you're up on a stage and you're, now Malachi did much better than generally I think anybody I've ever seen doing this, because of the fact that it's typically not somebody that is set out to cut through their bullshit the way that, as if you watch EdgierThanThou's video on this, which I recommend, explain that they've been watching these guys for a while, they know their shit, and that they went in there specifically to cut through the noise as much as possible. But that being said, they're always the house always wins in this kind of context, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would have done better, because everybody gets frazzled speaking in front of an audience unless they do it professionally for years and years. But I thought for sure Malachi was going to say, well, something like, well, it's like having a clown in front of kids. It's just a goofy character.
Right.
Which I think I think that would have disarmed that criticism a little bit for the audience.
That's something else. That's the thing. They just, they'll say, the fact that they went to that nothing you say matters because you think women have penises. That's the throwing dirt in the eye of debate tactics when it comes to this kind of shit. You know what I mean?
That's the pocket sand.
Yeah, I have to do anything to get out of this pocket sand, right?
Well, I think Malachi has a good pocket sand, like a good trump card to play. That's sort of at the end of this one, so I'll keep playing it. Play.
Sorry. That's actually an still image that I was trying to make bigger because you wanted to.
Oh, sure. Whoopsie.
Try again with the video. Here we go.
Right here I am, just clicking play
First
again.
Here it's the second one.
It's like playing a character. Just any old thing. I mean,
it's not in that one. Did they remove the one?
Your definitions.
That's okay. It's okay. Again,
so there's an extended version where they bring up when it comes to the grooming stuff that Matt Walsh and co are very okay with the groomer in chief.
Right. That's the one they didn't actually post that apparently. I don't know where Malachi got it actually, if they didn't post it, but I can grab their video and we can look at that from there because it is
notable.
Yeah, and the kind of takeaway that Malachi has in their video about this is this is how you need to, if you're ever going to confront these people, you need to bring this up because
Yeah.
So I linked in chat for everyone. This is the link to Malachi's video. I would recommend checking it out. They do good work.
So yeah, the video is called Matt Walsh posting his L's, and on the thumbnail it says, "Oops, all deflections." I'm gonna go ahead and download that real quick, and I'll have that ready in a minute. In the meantime,
I'll just like to cite an example of what Malachi is talking about that you can a lot of people can probably find is when Kyle Kulinski appeared on the Piers Morgan show with Michael Knowles and basically insulted him the entire time, did not give him any respect at all.
Right.
And like kept telling him, nothing you say matters. You're licking the boots of a pedophile, rapist, war criminal.
Yeah.
And Michael Knowles kept going, what? And then
so beyond time that we do that because they I mean, they got so far. Look, they're literally in power now, and maybe we might not be able to get them out based on just, you know, normal people being decent people and wanting to give respect. You know, we knew that, you know, like we know that you're a piece of shit. We know you have shitty, terrible, evil things to say, but we're gonna be respectful and stuff like that. And that's what fascists do. They you know, kind of glom onto that type of I guess civil discourse, and then they just inject their fucking poison into it, and then they seize power. And yeah, so I mean, it's beyond time. It's time to just fucking show no respect. Don't give a fuck about them trying to shame you or you know, turn things around on you, because you know they are the ones in the objective evil position. You know, there's nothing. I saw
they have
Alpha Eagle was in Malachi's comments, and it's like trying to really like, oh, you prove that Trump has been a pedophile. Like, come on, dude, really? Are you?
Is Alpha Eagle back? Didn't they go away for a while?
Beta Bird, yeah.
Oh my God, they're back. Oh my God.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Excuse me, because the response to "we'll prove that Trump is a pedophile" is, you fucking know he's a pedophile. We all know it. We see what you're doing. Don't stop pretending. You know, just do not let them get away with sowing doubt. Even though legally, you know, sure, there's probably legal doubt, but we all know. We all know.
Never let them hold you to a standard that they will never hold themselves to.
Exactly.
Do not ever play on their terms. Do not ever fight on their terms. Do not ever accept their stated terms or their field of battle. Fuck that.
Not even once.
Throw them a link to an Iranian Lego video.
Well, I refuse because they're AI, but that's me.
So it looks like 100% of people that voted in the poll think fuck yep, Daredevil Born Again is rad as fuck.
It is rad as fuck. I would agree.
It is good that everyone voted for the objectively correct answer.
Yeah, right. Stop that poll. If you guys think of another one, we can do that one. Here's this.
Oh, like 5, 6, something like that. A prophecy was uncovered. On that day, one random loser kid decided to start a YouTube channel with an equally embarrassing name, and that YouTube channel needed a header image. This kid possessed little in the way of graphic design skill, and so they turned to Microsoft Word, where they quickly typed the performatively arrogant letters that would someday shape their destiny, as well as the destiny of another, whether she knew it or not. Those words, you didn't have to post that, but here we are. Hey, folks, I recently became Charlie Kirk. At least that's what this wristband says. But perhaps more importantly, I met, and I guess you could call it, debated Map Walsh, as well as
Hold on.
Slightly.
Hold on.
Yeah, they call him Map Walsh, yes.
I missed that. Oh, edgy.
What?
Map Walsh.
They called him Map Walsh.
Oh.
For those who don't know, that's the right-wing code word for minor. It's minor attracted person. It's a pedophile.
It's the pedo word for a pedo. Yeah. They prefer to be called that. As if anybody gives a fuck.
Well, yeah, and so does Matt Walsh. I mean, Matt Walsh is the child fertility enthusiast.
They carry the flame. Yeah.
We are Charlie.
I mean, in more ways than they carry the flame in this video. It's fucking.
gayer knockoff Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles. Right off the bat, I can understandably anticipate that some of the people in this little audience that I have here might be a little bit uncomfortable with my decision to do this in the first place. And I genuinely respect that thought process. After all, like, the purpose of these events and these Q&A sessions is...
Oh, by the way, so I think it was, you guys know about the channel The Soy Pill?
No.
Pretty good content. Seems like a cool guy. And it's interesting that I watched a video of his where he was talking about, so, you know, I don't know if you've seen that Michael Knowles has this bar fight show that he does. Where like he has, you know, various people on the left, leftist liberals and stuff. They go on there and they sit, it's like in a bar filled with mostly conservatives, I imagine. And there's they debate stuff sitting at a bar or a, you know, stage type bar.
Right.
And so the Soy Pill apparently was a video about something else, and he randomly kind of said, well, yeah, I went and they basically showed how they flew him out there. They fly the guests there, and then there's like yeah, I'll try and find that, and we could watch that a little bit because it's really enlightening, not only to how much money and effort goes into these performative fucking debates that they, you know, stage, but also, like, remember how we were talking about Daily Wire running out of money?
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a big reason why. You know, other than that one show that sucks that they put all that money into.
I suspect that was a little bit overstated by the left, but I'll let it go by. Daily Wire running out of money.
They might have been running out of money they had on hand. They just needed another injection from whatever billionaire fucking you know, oil.
Yeah, I think it's more that they're not an independently profitable concern.
Yep. That's what it was. It was a video where he reviewed the entire platform of Daily Wire Plus and how goddamn broken it is, and how it can't possibly be making them enough money to, you know, justify anything. And yeah. Anyway.
Is for the genuinely like deranged evil people at the Daily Wire to take advantage of the fact that the average liberal college student doesn't have the same kind of media training as their political pundits who do this for a job. So you get a lot of liberals and leftists and whomever stumbling over their words, struggling to make arguments, getting flustered in the moment, things like that. And that can be used as fundraising propaganda and broadly fuel an anti-variety of minorities hate train, depending on, you know, who it is that's talking. And that's all true. That's what they do. Nonetheless, I follow these people quite closely, and more to the point, I'm quite intimately familiar with the things that they say, when they say them, and why they say them. And so I feel like I'm more qualified, despite my admitted lack of media training, to talk to these people than like most of the folks that want to argue with them or debate them. That's not to say that I did a perfect job in this conversation. In fact, I intend to do a longer video at some point where I cover some more of the details of this event and probably get a little bit more granular about my conversation with these two lovely gentlemen, and, you know, talk about some of the mistakes that I made and some of the things that I could have done differently. But I know them well enough to at least make the point and stick to it. And I think that I successfully did that in this conversation. My question revolved around the subject of one of my most popular videos, where I debunked an anti-trans graph that Matt Walsh himself perpetuated and basically purported to argue that there was this epidemic of transgender violence. Now, I did a whole video.
You were saying that something about the Daily Wire's troubles being a little bit overstated by the left. Is that what it was?
I think.
Specifically, have you eaten dinner yet, Bob? Because I think you've got some words that you need to just start scarfing.
Well, let me clarify before you feed me some crow here. That specifically what I had in mind was back when they were doing the Pendragon cycle, when it was in production, and Jeremy Boring stepped down as head or co-CEO to be the head of whatever division was making that TV show. I think that was blown out of proportion because shifting an executive from one position to another for creative stuff within a media company is not a sign of its financial strength or weakness. Just like people who said, oh, Jennifer Salke stepped down at Amazon because Rings of Power sucks, or Kathleen Kennedy's being fired. It's the same thing coming from the left, I think.
So here we've got the Daily Wire fires half of its staff in mass layoffs.
When
This
was
company's
this?
co-founder Ben Shapiro has lost 85% of his YouTube audience since last year.
But he's gained 85% more eyebrows. So it's a fair trade.
God, I'm so happy for them right now. Like,
soon they will pupate and become butterflies.
we may not live in an actual meritocracy, but this is an example of like the reverse that I'm cool with, for once. Like, it's a trend that continues,
So this just happened. This is literally like
brand new. Like that's why I said, holy fucking shit. Bob had just said that. We've just been talking about them and their money problems, and then boop.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I am happy to eat that crow. Nom, 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 nom.
Can I just say, okay, the timing on this, right? They just post videos about Malachi shutting Dumb and Dumber down, and now they've got to lay off half their staff. This is edgier than thou. They did it. They killed half the staff of the Daily Wire.
Wow.
What a soldier for dark woke.
I mean, look, I'm sure that they're not going to be too happy that they were responsible for job loss, but they probably don't care in this case. I'm tagging them in Discord and saying, "Look what you did!
You did it." I'm so proud of them.
Let's get back to their video though, because they were spitting fire there.
They are. Yeah.
Let's see. Here we go.
On it. In fact, I did 2 whole videos on it, and you can go back and watch those if you'd like to for the rundown, but I'll give enough context in this next little clip if you don't feel like doing that for some reason. Suffice to say, I know exactly where Matt's data came from, I know exactly why he didn't cite his source, and I know what the actual statistics on the subject are, although those didn't really come up in this conversation. Now, there were points in this conversation where I stumbled over my words or struggled to make a point that they absolutely could have used for some sort of a propaganda clip, some sort of an epic dunk, if you will. But that's not what they did. And so without further ado, I would like to show you a clip that the Daily Wire posted, somehow thinking that it made them look good. I'm going to do a little bit of narration, but this is directly from their Twitter. They didn't have to post this.
Looking at this, how many people is that stat based on? Like, how many transgender shooters is that stat based on? Because you cited it, I mean, you didn't cite your source, so I had to go digging for it, so I was curious if you knew.
This is a graph from when?
About 7 months ago, came up, it was going around on Twitter.
Do I have all the details of a graph that I posted 7 months ago in my head right now?
Ballpark, just approximate.
I guess you have the answer, so go ahead and tell us.
I do. It's one person. So you cited a per million statistic based on one person as evidence that there's some sort of epidemic of transgender violence going around this country.
But there have obviously been multiple transgender shooters just in the last couple of years.
I'm not denying any sort of specific individual instance. I'm talking about this is a statistic in which you compared these numbers for all of these other populations are significantly lower than they would be with actual statistics. I was just
So, like right there, this audience, the Daily Wire fans are not. They don't comprehend the words being said.
They're checked out. Totally.
So yeah, that's what. And then to their credit, these grifters, Matt Walsh knows all he needs to do is say women don't have penises, And by the way, he is performing the shit out of that deep voice. Like that is not what his voice sounded like in videos from just a few years ago or whatever, when he was a grown ass man. And either he is developing like lung throat cancer, or he's just performing this fucking deeper gravelly thing he's doing. Just want to say that.
Worth remembering here that Matt Walsh was also a couple years ago inadvertently called out on the Joe Rogan show for inflating the numbers of young people who are getting, I think it was surgery. It may have just been gender affirming care overall, but
it's just gender affirming.
It was literally it was surgeries, I believe. It
was just gender affirming care, because it was just about the number of youth in the country that were receiving gender affirming care.
And he's saying it was in the millions.
So in the millions, and the number was in the low thousands.
Yeah. And Joe Rogan, I guess to his credit, he just accidentally stumbled into being correct on that one. Yeah. That might have been before the CIA got to Joe Rogan, though.
Yeah.
Let's continue on here.
curious, like I want to understand like your process here. Why you wouldn't cite that source? Like, is it just because you know it's embarrassing that you only cited it off of, or based it off of one person? Or like more to the point, like why do you have to lie to make your point? You know, why do you have to, if there's this epidemic going around, why do you have to make shit up in order to make the argument?
So this clip isn't quite over yet. It's got about 10, 12 seconds left. And here.
That's the same thing as, you know, we've talked about when it comes to these guys doing their downvoting campaigns and their mass flagging or whatever to the acolyte or whatever it is, where it's like, if it's bad, just let it be represented in the organic audience's response to it. You know what I mean? No, they have to develop these fucking you know, inorganic campaigns from the moment a trailer drops in many cases to just, and then they're like, oh look, it's so bad. It's like, man, not everybody's that stupid. Just enough people, I guess.
That you may think that there's a little bit of a problem here. How are they going to respond to everything I just said in 10 to 12 seconds, right? I mean, after all, like Matt Walsh is going to later claim that this is an attempt at a gotcha. It's not a gotcha. It is a direct, provable instance of Matt Walsh lying about statistics in order to demonize a population of people. There really isn't any coming back from a mistake like this for...
Apparently there really isn't. There really isn't coming back. Like, you literally will fucking essentially have your business gutted for getting caught in a lie like this, it seems like.
Yes, professional political pundit with a...
Sorry,
if you lie this badly, then dark woke strongest soldier will come and eviscerate you.
Apparently so.
That's fucking amazing.
Research team. Anyone who knows anything about any of these subjects would have immediately clocked that this is an embarrassing lie. Matt Walsh didn't clock it, either because he's really, really stupid or because he doesn't care. It's because he doesn't care. But in any event, I directly and correctly...
We don't know that it's not because he's stupid.
It's both.
It's both. It could be
It's
both.
both.
So, point of disagreement there.
Yeah.
But please don't you know, have me fired or anything.
Dana, I have bad news.
Dark woke magic's on me, Malachi. Jesus.
I just got the code. You've been
no.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dane. All right. Your appeal went through. You've got a stay of your execution.
Ooh. So literally right now, Malachi is saying, hopefully they don't mind me saying this, that they regret not bringing up Brett Cooper now. Saying like, they said they were so tempted to ask about their talent hemorrhaging, quote unquote talent.
Oof. Talent is.
I mean, the obvious question with Brett Cooper is, if Daily Wire is so against trans people, why did they create a female clone of Ben Shapiro?
It's true.
It was really confusing that they would do such a thing. Like,
yeah, B23 there is it's a little on the nose, guys.
I mean, there's also, did you guys see the stuff with the Jonathan Majors movie and their movie, that production?
Oh yeah, like their whole like crew got, like, he got hurt, and
well, and then the response to media asking about them, like the guy that's running it is just like, you're a bunch of commies. Like,
yeah, they said the union raised safety concerns on set, and the producer
called it communist.
We don't negotiate with communists, is what he said. That was his response to safety concerns raised by IATSE, the union.
Literally, like there's people working on the movie set and stuff that are not Daily Wire people, that are, you know, that's how generally Hollywood sets work, is you have just people that float around to different sets and stuff.
Yeah.
And people saying, you know, posting on Reddit saying like these people knew nothing about what they were doing. It essentially was just they were trying to find people that knew what was going on so they could even understand what they were supposed to be doing, and just, you know, just pure chaos. And the reason for that is, it's not because they're stupid, really, but it's because of the choices they make. The choices being that why do we need to you know, have this role on the set, or why do we need to have, I mean, like this film or crew member? That's stupid. We don't need to pay for that. And then the people that we are going to hire are going to be, you know, they're not going to be the best, because look, those people overcharge. We can get anybody to do this, and then you just hire some fucking moron or grifter to do shit. and nothing gets done right. Nothing gets done well, and it's all chaos. And yeah, that's what happened with Ben Shapiro's eyebrows too.
Well, no, I thought that was just he was trying to take like HGH to grow, and he grew all right.
Yeah. I think there's an inverse statistical relationship between the bushiness of Ben Shapiro's eyebrows and the financial stability of Daily Wire.
We have to
inversely, yeah.
All right.
Called out Matt Walsh on a specific provable lie that he told. So how does he respond to this? What is his defense for this failure?
Well, first of all, I think as someone who believes that women have penises, you're not one to lecture people for lying. So that's
your definitions.
It's okay.
Again,
My friends,
All the seals, just sea lion.
they have nothing. There is no defense for the kind of lies that they tell day in and day out when confronted directly with, I'm sorry, an unimpressive find by me. They had no response to anything that I said. And so they had to go to their generic deflection tactic, just repeating their audience's opinions back to them. Now, this may be why you think it's kind of a problem to go up and talk to these people in the first place. The words being said don't matter. Everyone in that audience heard that Matt Walsh told a lie and heard that he could not deal with the ramifications of that lie. And yet, when he repeated something that they already believed back to them that they've heard him say a billion times before, they clapped and cheered like seals. I know that might seem really insulting from me, but genuinely, I don't know, get over it. Ultimate point being, my goal in this interaction, and I think I fulfilled that goal in this clip that they for some reason decided to post, was to avoid teeing them up for the thought-terminating cliche, and yet demonstrate that they'll go for the thought-terminating cliche regardless. That it doesn't matter what words you say, all they have are buzzwords and slogans that they can use to rile up their audience and get, clapter and applause and things like that that don't properly address any of the arguments actually being made. I doubt that the Daily Wire or Turning Point are going to use any of these clips for much more than just the tweets that they already made. I think it would be quite silly of them. I mean, some of the conservative bottom feeder accounts, like the people who just spend all day posting clips of other people talking, have reposted it. I don't understand why that's an industry that exists. I don't understand the appeal of it. But regardless, I doubt that those will go very far either. But I did notice one thing that I found very interesting about this whole clip debacle, and that is what they chose specifically not to post. Later on in this conversation, I brought up the fact that Donald Trump is a pedophile. I mean, Matt Walsh himself in 2016 or 2015 talked directly about the fact that he sexualized his own children, and Donald Trump is a guy who directly, openly admitted to perving on teenage girls in changing rooms. I don't really think that this is a thing that we have to debate. It's just obviously true. Anyone with eyes and an honest heart can see it.
So if that's the case, we've sat through you guys describing all of the left as various disgusting sex perverts, groomers, things like that, which is interesting for your movement in general. But I've watched your show many, many times. You consistently refer to the left very broadly, not even just specific people, as groomers, as pedophiles, as predators, and have argued that pedophiles and such should be killed. Would that not therefore mean, by your own argument, that you are justifying the killing of left-wingers?
Where did I say that leftists in general are pedophiles?
It's just a broad label you use in your videos.
But it's not.
It's a broad. You absolutely refer to the leftists.
I've been much more
pedophiles,
specific.
pedophile defenders, things like that. Again, you're a Republican, so that's odd that you would do that, but...
Why is that odd?
I mean, you're supporting Donald Trump, the man.
Their delivery there is just...
Yeah.
I want to finish the line.
They said this once, and they did not take the bait, and then they made sure to repeat it, and then he took the bait. And that's masterful, brilliant.
Let's play the fatality here.
And who you openly admitted sexualizes his own children back in 2016 before suddenly changing your position.
When was Donald Trump guilty of pedophilia?
Oh, I'm not saying he hasn't been found guilty of anything. I'm saying he's engaged in that behavior.
Okay.
And he's endorsed that behavior, more importantly.
He's endorsed pedophilia?
You said he's engaged in that behavior.
What are you talking about?
He specifically described his interest in walking into the Miss Teen USA changing rooms while they were changing. I would call that pedophilia personally.
And they didn't use any of those clips. Now, part of that is because the fact that they literally couldn't respond to the things that I brought up. And again, we'll probably talk about this later. But I noticed something else, which is that the person who went after me, a younger kid, asked a question directly related to Donald Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, this kid was, and I mean no offense when I say this, not necessarily prepared for this conversation. They struggled a little, like clearly the nerves were getting to them. And I mean, you can see in my clip, like the nerves were getting to me too. I mean no offense when I say this. But the point that I'm getting at is like, there were moments where they totally could have clipped this kid out of context or clipped a piece of the conversation to make them look bad and post it online and, you know, embarrass the lib who doesn't understand the Donald Trump Epstein connection or whatever. They could have done that. But none of those clips, as far as I can tell, have showed up on any of their social media. And I'm not saying that the Daily Wire has marching orders to avoid mentioning Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein in the same sentence at all costs. But I am saying that they almost certainly are avoiding talking about this as much as humanly possible. It was brought up to them, they addressed it at the event, and they do not intend to address it in any other context. So I guess, I mean, a piece of advice to anyone who's going to one of these events, bring that up. It appears to be something that they are not prepared to talk about or not comfortable talking.
Bring exclusively that up. Several of you should go, and all of you should, you know, stand up there and act like you want to say something different, but all of you say the exact same thing. That's what should happen.
Yeah, what's your professional opinion on Trump's association with Jeffrey Epstein?
Wow.
Because it's that easy, folks. It's just like, hey, what this
I mean, I'm actually
weird.
going to check. I'm not trying to like debunk Malachi or anything, but I am curious looking at their social. I'm going to look at their social media and see if they actually did end up posting anything about that. I doubt it. I think they're probably spot on with this, but
yeah,
talking about. And it's one of.
What's up, Bob? Sorry.
I was going to say, if the only thing they ever hear from the audience at events like this is, why are you supporting the pedophile, rapist, war criminal president? They won't be able to make content.
I mean, literally, that should be, you know, and ideally, that should be everything that everybody that resists this shit and wants this administration gone, that should be what we do. It just, you know, for many reasons, because it's the most objectively evil and fucked up thing that they've done. Well, I mean, one of anyway, depending on how you want to weigh.
It's a long list.
If you want to weigh all the deaths of the Iran war and you know.
Just the stuff that Elon Musk did when he was there for a few months, like that's going to kill millions of people, and he's going to skate on that.
Unless dark woke wins the next election and or seizes power in 2028.
Yeah,
and then enacts the tribunals for human rights and war crimes violations.
That would be nice. Do you know what my personal hell for them is? I had a thought about this. Because these people are all very serious people. And I don't believe in the death penalty, but I do believe in humor. For the dark woke tribunals, we find them guilty because we all know they're guilty. And we land them up with a firing squad. But it's just like kids with Nerf guns. And then we lock them in a bounty castle.
Yeah,
just for the rest of their lives, right? But they're stuck in a bounty castle. That's their prison cell, is a bounty castle forever.
Because I was going to say that sounds like fun, but if you make it forever, that's
forever.
Torture. Yeah,
right. For the rest of their natural life, they can come out to eat and relieve themselves, and that is it.
Back in the bounty with you boys.
Right? Exactly. It's just. They just go into the bounty castle forever.
That would be torture. Yeah.
Because I'm evil. And I tend not to fuck around with it.
I want to point out, so I'm kind of scrolling down through Daily Wire's Twitter right now. And
I'm sorry.
You know, it's exactly what you would expect. It is a mixture of deflection and stories that are meant to, you know, make you focus on this thing instead of another thing. Absolutely nothing about Epstein whatsoever.
Weird.
But then one thing that's like, oh, come on, really, is there's a video from 11 hours ago. I guess Kamala Harris was at some event speaking on stage, sitting there talking to somebody. And there's a band on stage, and one of them is a saxophonist. And he looks like an older fella. And he has seemingly fallen asleep. and they are posting this and saying, this guy fell asleep at Kamala's vent. And it's like, is that really the way you want to go? Because I'm pretty confident within about 30 seconds I could find several clips of your guide literally falling asleep during like seemingly or ostensibly important meetings.
Do you remember? I mean, it is like only a couple Scaramucci's ago that Donald Trump shit himself on camera in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
I don't think these people are allowed to talk about the things that happen to old people anymore. I think that's just, shit literally happens. Why
there was a clip going around just this week of Trump apparently falling asleep while standing up.
Oh my God.
Which means he probably wasn't falling asleep, but it looks like he was. And it was like at the press conference right after the alleged assassination attempt.
Oh.
Like he stepped away from the mic and like the next person stepped up to talk. And if you watch Trump, his head sags and his eyes close and he just stands there like he's passed out or something.
I actually have an image that I downloaded because I put it in the thumbnail. So, and this is from that night, a couple of them really. This is from, a few minutes after he was apparently attacked and possibly almost assassinated or whatever, even though the guy didn't get in the same floor.
And now the reporting is he didn't even fire a shot.
Right. Yeah. Now the reporting is that the guy that did get shot was shot by friendly fire.
Yep.
Is this our president?
These are the dumbest people.
This is the better of the two photos. I just want to say that before I show the other one.
Oof. We got to circle back to this one because I love this story. This Russell Brand story.
Just
he has never looked more like an orangutan than he does in this picture right here.
He really does.
He's always looked fucking weird. Obviously, that's just like part of his whole thing. Is just a fucking weirdo.
He's a weird guy.
Like, this is
different.
It's like just a maybe he's tired. He's a little tuckered out and stuff. But I don't know. It just looks
I did not mean to insult the orangutan community with that comment.
Yeah, I was gonna say like our other great ape listeners are going to be pretty upset with that.
We have a clip somewhere where we looked at the video, a clip from Fox News when he was on there before the election, and he like sitting there, and they like make sure to guide him to sit him on what seems to be some kind of incontinence pad that's on the couch.
Which is fine. Sometimes you need an incontinence pad. No fucking
like
shame
whenever,
in that.
like now the thing about it, this is him shitting right here. That's what that is. That's the shit.
I just he is the worst. He's just the worst.
All right, what were we doing here? What were we watching?
Malachi's video.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
Worst things that they've aligned themselves with. So don't let them forget about it. And if you're uncomfortable with them using you for propaganda clips, know your stuff. Be aware of Donald Trump's connection with Jeffrey Epstein. Be aware of why his story changed. Be aware of the fact that he lied about the birthday card that he sent Epstein, claiming that he didn't draw pictures, despite the fact that he absolutely did do that. Be aware of Donald Trump openly admitting to perving on teenage girls. Be aware of the fact that Donald Trump, in the Hollywood Access tapes, openly admitted to sexually assaulting people. Be aware of the fact that Donald Trump directly sexualized his own children, and Donald Trump Jr. kind of followed in his footsteps on that one. And bring that up to them. You know what I mean? Like, make the room uncomfortable, and ruin their ability to get any propaganda clips from you, because they don't want you talking about that. Anyhow, I do want to bring up an honorable mention of somebody else posting clips that they absolutely did not need to post recently, specifically a conservative alleged comedian whose name has already vacated my brain, posted an, I guess you could call it, crowd work clip in which he antagonizes a woman in the audience over and over again, and this lady literally does not give him anything. Like, I was watching this clip, and I'll show you a little bit of it, and I swear I recommend you seek it out. I'll probably link it in the description. I had never considered that if a comedian is like haranguing you in front of everybody, the idea of just not saying anything. But it turns out that is legitimately the best strategy that she could have used, that anyone could have used in this circumstance.
Are you triggered? Perfect. I thought that would happen quicker, to be honest, when I looked at you at the beginning. What do you think? Here, this is your moment to speak. What should happen now? If this was your...
Just perfect.
This is not okay.
The look on her face is like, I feel bad for you right now that you're doing this. You know?
Her facial expressions are funnier than this guy could be with his entire being.
Yep.
Yeah, this whole experiment.
This is not
Huh? Were you saying something?
I was going to say this whole experiment that conservatives are doing of circulating things that have the structure of comedy but are never actually funny is itself funnier than anything this guy has to say.
It's true.
I mean, how many times do we have to see it? Like, you know, going back to Eric July's debate with Bob and how he, you know, like the only thing that he could think to do to save any face, not that it did that, I think it actually probably caused him more damage than anything, is to just crash out for 2 hours and, you know, be racist and say all kinds of fucked up shit that's not true about Bob.
Yeah.
Yes. You know,
But you fail to account for the fact that he's built like a goddamn brick.
well, that's true. But they got nothing. They got fucking nothing.
Not
And
a
if you
damn
call them
thing.
out on the right thing, they'll, you know, for instance, you know, Mahler decided before, basically just whenever he heard me say if it's objective, why do we disagree? That was the thing that made him go, oh, I'm not talking to him, he's bad faith. And it's like, okay, but that's a valid fucking question. I think to start with, you should be able to field that question.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what's funny? An ad plays in my background. I'm sorry. Every so often on one of Bob Chaos's videos, like I have some comment there from like a year ago, and just randomly I will have one of Mahler's, like a new Mahler fan every time, come argue with me in this 8-year-old post, and I'm just like, why are
and it's always the same kind of tactic too, right? Like they're like, oh well, how come? And it's like some very hyper specific thing that like I don't even fucking remember what you're talking about. Like,
I genuinely don't know.
Like, how can you still care about this to this degree? Unless you're in a cult. Are you in a cult? Yeah, you're in a cult.
That's kind of like, are you in a... So I just, my new thing to do is I just find like the oldest one-line memes from like 2011 and just reply with those, just like, sir, this is a Wendy's, you mad bro, just like, that's it. And they don't know how to handle that.
She's not gonna fuck you, bro.
Right, exactly, that kind of stuff.
That's my favorite one.
Morgan, do I have your permission if I ever see that happening and you're involved? Can I just come in and say that she's not going to fuck you, bro?
Oh, please! I insist, my friend.
My other favorite one
would be confusing for the poor lad. He would just become enraged as well. So,
oh,
like,
be great.
Wait, who? What? No.
My other favorite one that I've seen a lot of women use is "Calm down, or I'm going to fuck your father and give him a son he can be proud of."
Holy shit! That's
good. I like that one.
I just want to share this.
I can't use that one.
Sure, you can.
I guess I could.
It's been a pretty cool night. You know, it's been pretty cool.
That's
this
pretty
whole thing
cool.
right here.
It's a beautiful. It's really something special tonight, I think.
Here's this thing. You know, just unrelated directly, but it's definitely related.
Have posted a pretty bizarre manifesto which has been described as the ramblings of a supervillain. People who don't know what Palantir is, it's a US spy tech giant co-founded by the billionaire and J.D. Vance mentor Peter Thiel. It's been called the world's scariest and most important company, and its tech has been used by everyone from ICE to the Israel Defense Forces. This weekend, its official account posted like
all the most evil organizations doing the most evil shit uses this. Like, you know, we should be against it.
It's just Bad Guy Inc.
And yeah, the fact that they've just come out so openly with like, yeah, of course we're evil, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't say that, but like
apparently there's been like people in the company like, wait, are we the baddies? And it's just like,
yep.
Did you not know? I just it's like
okay, for example, like I had a friend who got a job working for Apple, doing, you know, product service care for them or whatever.
Sure.
And like,
yeah.
you know, I can understand like basically the way that Apple does it. I'm sure that Palantir is very much like this too. They have a culture that they indoctrinate you with whenever you know come into that thing. It's like you're being awashed with their propaganda on a daily basis, and you're you know incentivized to fucking not think negative things about them, and then that over a long enough period of time, you probably are only thinking about the potential good uses of something like this, or maybe even giving examples of like a good way that you know this has been blah blah. And yeah, I can see being kind of lost in the sauce until suddenly you're like, wait, what the fuck are we doing?
Because it's not like Raytheon. Like Raytheon,
right?
Okay, so like Raytheon, it's interesting because there's a lot of queer people in the military. It turns out.
Yeah.
And Raytheon hires those people. And so Raytheon has like pride events and like and internally too, but it's still Raytheon. Where like Palantir doesn't even have that. They're just like, nah, fucking kill the queers.
Which is like, really odd because Peter Thiel is gay.
Is gay, yeah.
He's openly gay and had a boyfriend who
died mysteriously.
Well, that's kind of part of the whole thing, right? He's only openly gay against his will. You know, Gawker fucking outed him.
Right.
That was the whole reason he fucking went after them and took them down.
Yeah.
Successfully fucking got them. And I think that part of that has been what's, you know, influenced his just general disdain for anything vaguely liberal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and yeah, I mean, the guy that like, if you watch that interview that he did like last year or whatever, and he's asked, you know, should humanity survive, and he doesn't have an immediate answer, like that's not good, man.
That's a clue. You're the
winning 2-point manifesto on X. Start of the post said, because we keep getting asked, but no one really knows who's asking. The key points included implying that some cultures are inferior to others. Some cultures have produced vital advances. Others remain dysfunctional and regressive. Heaping praise on the...
I want to highlight that point specifically because, and everybody does this, it's not just Palantir, but culture is not something that does things.
People do things.
People do things. And, you know, that's a very poor anthropological framing. Culture is what groups of people create to describe the meaning of their experience to themselves.
Why whenever like, you know, for instance, the main person I think of when I think about the conservative claim or argument about that we're not racist because we're not saying that not black people, it's their culture.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's Ben Shapiro. This is one I specifically remember hearing make that. You know, once I started really paying attention and being like, dude, that's a really fucking Weasley way of just saying it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is so when people say that like one culture is better than another culture, that's them telling those people that what their experience should mean to them, right? Like like black culture, to take an example. Right. Somebody says black culture, some racist will say like black culture does X, Y, and Z. What he's saying is your experiences as black people should not mean to you what you say they mean to you. It should mean what I say.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I hope somebody's making like a list and documenting all of these things, and just there needs to be some one spot where everybody can go to find all the tropes and all the, you know, I don't know.
It's in China, probably.
Okay.
Probably.
U.S. for its role in global peace and progressive values, while saying that America should reinstate the military draft, and saying that free and democratic societies need hard power over soft power and moral appeal. Also said that
that's fucking so stupid, dude, to think that they are in direct they work in coordination with one another, soft power and hard power.
Right, you need both.
Soft power is so that you don't fucking blow money on fucking missiles and shit like that you can't even defend your own country anymore because you fucking dropped them all on Iran in a couple of days time. Oops. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. It's also just the moral thing to do is to create relationships that, you know, are mutually beneficial and you know,
but that's woke.
How can these people be so smart and say this shit, right? Like, They're not,
because they're not smart.
They're not smart. Here's the well. I guess here's the thing, right? Is that I work with a lot of smart people in IT, right? I think everyone I work with is outside of like some specific cases is smarter than me. They're also morons because knowledge. A smart person is smart about one, maybe two, occasionally three things. Outside of that, they're as dumb as you are, if not dumber.
Yeah. That's where the stereotype of the out of touch academic comes from. That's a
Right.
person who is extremely well informed and educated and extremely smart on a very narrow subject, and then on everything else they're a moron.
Well, and
because they devote
conservatives
so
do a
much of
great
their
job
energy.
of seizing on that and saying, and that it's true. They can be like, well, these people, you're out of touch with the average person or whatever. And it's like, okay, that's true, but like to think that you're the guy that represents the average person, yikes.
If I want to assign it like a derogatory name, Sam Harris disease.
True. Oh, look, you know what? Somebody should make a video about that.
Someone should. I wonder if someone has made a video about that, Dane. What do you think, Dane? Has someone made a video about that, Dane?
I mean, it's not a channel that's called Dane AF or actual fandom. That's for sure.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
It's called actual context back then.
It was, yeah.
Silicon Valley had an obligation to help out in things like national defense and violent crimes, and the future is AI war, because if we don't build the killer robots, our enemies will build them. The weirder points included saying multiple times we need to be nicer to.
Just to make it clear, billionaires that are pushing for AI and shit like this, and the reason that it's not like coincidental that they don't give a fuck about human beings or labor. They want to, because it's going to go there eventually anyway. And it's either going to go the way of they can replace us with fucking robots, or they're going to be forced to fucking give us good pay and benefits. Either way, well, they're going to want to get rid of us.
Right.
So like that's why they're like, hey, yeah, everybody should join the military. That'll cull some of them. You know what I mean? That's going to be the only thing that they're good for at some point, is protecting our companies as we fucking usher in the Peter Thiel's goddamn transhumanist fucking dystopia.
Well, another part of it is these people are, like, in their own words, feudalists. They believe in a feudal system where you are a client to a monarch.
We have become too unwieldy for them. We are getting online and talking to other people about, hey, wait a second. But here's a factoid, by the way, I found out recently. Do you guys know? I know you know because I asked you on Discord, but audience, do you know what the minimum wage should be right now if it had grown commensurate to, just general inflation and prices and cost of living? Anybody got some guesses?
I'm going to guess it's a very high number, higher than you might imagine.
Yeah.
Before I learned I might have been like $35 an hour, maybe 40. That seems crazy to even think about making that kind of money, but that's probably what it is. No, it's 60 something dollars. Thank you, Troy. Yeah, it's over
Troy
60 fucking dollars. 60 and instead it's what is it?
$7.
The federal minimum wage is still $7.25. Yeah,
$7.25. Like
some states and some states and cities around the country have raised it to like $18 an hour.
Yeah, 15 or 18.
But
yeah, what's crazy is that I would have thought about maybe $30, Sean. And that's the thing. We are so cowed by this shit that we can't even fathom what it. Our guess is not even half of what it actually is, or would be. Right? Like that's fucking.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point being that we're getting to a point where something's gonna have to give, and it's not going to be them and their money. It's not going to be them and giving a shit about workers. Why would they do that?
Well, it is going to be them and their money. I hate to break it to them.
I'm saying from their perspective, right?
Yeah.
That's the way they're looking at it.
Public figures and billionaires. So this means not snickering at Elon Musk for not just staying in his lane and making boatloads of money. As Taylor Swift said, It's a good thing I like my friends canceled. But all of this is a worrying statement from an incredibly powerful company, one which demonstrates just how deeply embedded Palantir is in the Trump big tech axis, as someone from the tech nonprofit Fox Club told me. The list appears to be taken from the recent book of Palantir's CEO, the controversial billionaire Alex Karp. That book laments a widespread complacency among engineers and founders who build photo-sharing apps, as opposed to collaborating with governments to secure the West's dominant place in the geopolitical order. Side note, this is the guy who drew criticism recently for saying that AI would disrupt the power of childless cat ladies, highly educated, often female voters who vote mostly Democrat, and for last year suggesting that Palantir wants, when it's necessary, to scare enemies and, on occasion, kill them. You might see all this as the self-indulgent rambling of a powerful tech company, but it speaks to a larger movement that's happening right now, where a loose coalition of thinkers and executives in Silicon Valley are more and more interested in a vision of tech power merged with state power. And what all of this indicates is that Karp views himself as not simply the head of a software company, but a pundit with important insights into the future of civilization, one in which the West deserves to be globally dominant and should use the technological might of Palantir to achieve this.
And how's that working out for us right now?
Poorly.
I mean, if your goal, put yourself in the frame of somebody whose goal is to maintain the global dominance of Western civilization. And you've taken away the concept of soft power. You've killed USAID and a bunch of other overseas aid programs, and you're just trying to bully everyone into submission. How's that working out for you?
Not great.
Yeah. We have lost the war in Iran.
Yep.
We've lost.
It's already over.
All the stuff we see right now is just cope.
Yep.
And that's going to, Iran's going to come out of this as another node of global power next to Russia, China, and the US.
And the US, it's entirely an own goal. Entirely.
Yeah.
That did not have to happen.
We deserve to lose the war. but that's going to be the long-term consequence of this, I think. That's the way it looks like it's going now, because everything we're hearing from, I keep seeing a version of this interview on corporate media in the US or this exchange. Somebody on the panel will point out all the gains that Iran has made geopolitically as a result of this. And then the conservative will say, well, we could turn them into a parking lot if we wanted to. And nobody ever goes, okay, but are we going to do that? No, we're probably not going to do that. It's all just cope. All this talk about how we're the strongest, most powerful nation ever to exist. We have a nuclear arsenal, blah, blah, blah. If we don't use that power, it's meaningless. It's all just cope. So the strategy is failing, right? And it's blowing up in their faces in real time.
And they do not know what to do about it.
Yeah. By the way, the other there are three founders of Palantir. There's Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, the guy we just saw.
And Saruman.
A third,
I'm sorry.
Satan. Yeah, Satan is behind the scenes. But the third guy is a guy named Joe Lonsdale, and he's famous, among other things, for on Twitter a couple of years ago saying Palantir was founded in part to kill leftists.
Yeah.
He just said that.
I have a video about that, I think.
Oh, cool. Sounds like a swell guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Spirit of Luigi protect us, I
guess so.
There's also just the simple fact of wait, no, I don't want to do it in case I can't make it stop. Never mind.
Why don't we talk about something more uplifting and heartwarming, like murdocking?
Murdocking. It's time for murdocking.
Karen Page's favorite hobby.
Yeah. I mean, other than fingers crossed, killing Kingpin's number one guy.
Oh God! Again.
Yeah. So be warned for those listening, we are about to enter spoiler territory for episode 7
That is not a spoiler because Buck did not die in this episode. So there you go.
I'm not saying that was a spoiler. I'm just saying we're about to enter
yeah.
spoiler territory. So if you have not seen that episode and you don't want to hear spoilers from it, stop listening right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a good episode. They've all been good episodes, I think.
Yeah. I think it's a big fan.
I was really surprised that like the last episode ended with, pretty big shit happening, and in particular the fight between Daredevil and Kingpin. I wonder if that means that there's not going to be another one, or
I don't think so.
That just this round one. You know what I mean?
I suspect there is not going to be another one.
I agree. Yeah.
Same.
Because the whole point of, at least what I'm taking from this show, this season so far, is that main character syndrome is not the solution to systemic oppression.
Yeah.
It has to be organized. The whole season has been about the power of collective organizing, revolutionary power against a fascist state. So Daredevil beating up Kingpin is not going to be the solution to the problem. Although he might still beat him up. That might be a scene we get, but that's not going to be what resolves the conflict of this season.
So after that last episode, by the way, I went and watched immediately after. Went and watched the season 3 fight from the Netflix show at the end, where it's him and he's in the black because Bullseye's in his costume. Bullseye's attacking at the same time, attack Fisk and Vanessa, and so. And I noticed that in both of those fights, the one in this most recent one and that episode almost fucking decade ago or something, Fisk he's got a tendency to just punch like bricks.
Yeah.
And he did both times. He like punches the wall and bricks fly off and he screams and then he just starts punching again. Anyway.
Well, that's kind of how Kingpin is in the comics too, though.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Yeah. And that's visual. I know you know this, but that's visual language. That's filmmaking language for demonstrating how physically powerful Kingpin is.
Yes. And I recently read, I don't believe it's the first appearance, but it's so I was reading through Amazing Spider-Man in I think it was the numbers were somewhere around the 30s to the 50s or something like that. Issue number 30 through 50 something. So we have the first appearance of Mary Jane, for example, to tell you how far, back this was. I don't know if it was the first appearance of Fisk, but it was one of, if not the first, or it might have been like second or third.
One of the earliest appearances, yeah.
It might be the first one in. Well, did he appear in Spider-Man or Daredevil first? I actually don't know.
He's a Spider-Man villain originally, yeah.
Okay. Well, so in that, it literally sets him up in the exact way that I remember my brother explaining it to me whenever, because that's how I generally learn about Marvel stuff. So my brother would give me a rundown on things. And, and he was like, well, it looks like, he looks like he's fat, but he's not really fat. It's like this just thick muscle, which I thought was hilarious and cool. And that's literally how he explains it in the comic. Spider-Man is doing some real fat phobia.
Yes.
And he kind of underestimates Fisk, and it's pretty neat. But then Fisk puts him and J. Jonah Jameson, grabs him, puts him in the classic fucking. We're gonna put him in this room and fill the room up with water.
Oh yeah,
hear that?
We can go now, right? Like we don't have to stick around for this.
That's what they do. Yeah, we don't need to see this happen. We're good.
We're good, right? I'm sure it's fine, guys. It's fine, right?
Like I was watching some stuff with like a video with D'Onofrio talking about his his roles in the past. It seems like a really cool guy. I'd kind of love to talk to him. I think he seems very, very thoughtful. And he was talking about how him and Charlie Cox just have this ultimate respect and love for each other at this point, where there's this trust with one another, implicit trust that the other guy's doing what he needs to do to make his end of this awesome, and so I just have to do that as well. And it makes sense why, obviously we need to move past the Fisk thing. Or find some other way to. I don't know, but it makes sense that they keep coming back to that dynamic.
Well, they need to move past Kingpin being the primary villain of the story. He can still be in the show, and they can still have that relationship.
Well, they did that in season 2 was kind of that, like he was in prison. But yeah.
Yeah, and keep them on the show. People are interested in the character and they like seeing the acting dynamic between those two guys. But as good as this show has been, I think the Daredevil show has. This is the last time I think they can use Kingpin as the main villain.
The last one did not feel like, okay, here we go again, but it definitely had they accurately depicted the characters feeling like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, so, here we are again, we got to fight, and it's like, I didn't feel that way. I don't think anybody did watching that fight. But if it goes any further, that feeling will be the audience's feeling as well, I think.
Yeah.
But
especially because, like, I think part of it is that, like, as far as the Netflix Daredevil and Born Again is gone, is that, like, Daredevil hasn't had another interesting villain. Like, I think that the Hand was just not well received or particularly well done in Defenders or season 2 of Daredevil. So, like, and I also think maybe it's just my bias of, like, I just think the Hand are shitty.
Well, it's also it's kind of known at this point that Jeff Loeb's racism played a big role in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's no reason not to use the Hand again in a better way.
Yeah, do better.
The big shadowy conspiratorial ninja cult is always a great villain.
Is that Jeff Loeb is no longer running this shit, and so somebody that actually, isn't a fucking lazy bigot, I guess, should, give it the respect it deserves. I still thought some aspects of it, what was his name? Nobu was fucking awesome.
Nobu was very cool.
Yeah, just because it was badly executed doesn't mean it's a bad idea to try it again and do it better, because the globe spanning shadowy ninja cult is always a great villain for characters, street level characters who know martial arts. Those are just kind of like chocolate and peanut butter, right?
Sure.
And
well, I mean, that's not going to happen because they're literally reintroducing them in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah, they're going to be the baddies in Spider-Man.
In case you haven't seen the trailer there, they are in it. All up in it.
Maybe. We know they're going to be in the movie. We don't know if they're the main baddies.
That's fair.
But,
true. Okay.
But the way to make it work would be to have a single character who's like the head of the local Hand cell or whatever, be the primary villain. So the Hand isn't just a faceless organization; it's embodied in a specific character.
What you're saying is like have like a finger.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Mr. Fear would be good. He's a fucking good original. As far as like whenever he was only created in like what 2015 maybe.
Pretty recent, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of fan chatter that's who Matthew Lillard is playing. That's who he's going to turn out to be as Mr. Fear.
That would be cool. That's I guess one aspect of it that I'm really kind of curious how it's going to go, because he did not turn out to be the presence I guess that I expected him to be in this season.
He has a really flashy intro in the first episode, and then he just kind of fucks off to be like exposition. Like he does exposition and is occasionally exposited at, and like that's his whole character.
The next time we see him after that first time is like, fucking Buck takes out his guys, like,
oh well.
And Fisk's like, yeah, bitch, what you gonna do about it? Which is cool, but like it just I thought that he was gonna be more consistently like I am running you,
right.
Kind of, but I guess it's also good to show Fisk is not gonna be, nobody puts Fisk in the corner.
Well, so we should probably pour one out for Daniel.
Yeah.
He kept it real. He was a real one.
He was a real one.
I was not sure, like, not that I didn't like it, but I just was kind of unclear on like what the, in the meta context of this show is depicting a kind of fascist, authoritarian, taking over of a city that obviously maybe has some tangential coincidences to do with real life stuff. So in that regard, like, what did Daniel represent? Because I honestly kind of thought that he was further along than what he ended up being.
I think Daniel represents I don't know what the name for this archetype would be, but the last person to cross the to come to the realization that this is fascism because they've been
Right.
benefiting from it the whole time, but they finally get there. He's the liberal. That's
Well,
who he
see,
is.
and yeah, I see that now. But like, I honestly feel like that he was depicted as being more in line with, like, he was already making choices, and he was so much a yes man that I just didn't think he would have this room for doubt until he started having room for doubt.
Daniel is the banality of evil. That's what he represents. He's just a guy.
What I think at the end he just represents is that until it is literally never too late to choose to do the right thing if you're in the
exactly
hierarchy kind of thing.
But up to that point, he's just a guy who should know better. He's not stupid. If he looked around him, it should be obvious what's going on. But he's just doing his job. He's just following orders. He's not a bad person. Most people who met him will not look at his personal life and judge him a bad person. But somehow,
body, that's pretty fucked up.
What?
He did chop up a body.
Well, before he got to that point, that's what I'm saying. He's the type of person that fascism runs on. He's the person that isn't. Most people will not judge him a bad person. He's not.
I just agree,
mentally unstable.
It was well known who Fisk was, and so choosing to be not only work for him, but to be like, I'm your fucking yes man. I will do anything you say right out of the gate, and
Well,
yeah,
I mean, that's sort of
that's the point. That's the banality of evil. A normal person who should see what is obvious to the rest of us, but doesn't because he's benefiting from the system.
Sees an opportunity,
and just getting by, doing his job, keeping his head down, following orders, and he's not driven by some consuming need to destroy the world or whatever. He's just a guy following orders.
True.
Well, and I also think that there's a little bit of how could he not? Well, I mean, this is comic book logic, right? The Mayor Fisk storyline comes out of the comic, and it's purely comic book logic that you would elect this guy mayor. But then again, we also elected a criminally insane game show host to be president. So I think here in Meat Space, we don't have any right to judge.
Literally, you can't say that. The argument that's not realistic is much less
out the window.
Yeah.
But yeah, I give him respect as well. Hats off to him. The great performance of the character. You know what? I'm starting to think that sometimes, every once in a while, maybe a nepo is not such a bad thing.
Yeah,
well, he wasn't a nepo. That was Oh, he's the actor.
The actor is James Gandolfini's son. For those who don't know, and the thing about nepo people in Hollywood is that being a nepo doesn't mean you don't have talent. It just means you're given opportunities you didn't earn. Right.
Yeah. But I feel like he's earned what he's doing. I mean, that's not a huge role. It's a prominent one, but it's not the biggest one. And then if you haven't seen, if anybody's ever watched The Sopranos, you appreciate The Sopranos, there's a movie that they did on HBO a few years ago where it takes place in the past from The Sopranos, and he plays Tony Soprano at that age. It's pretty cool. It's the first time I ever saw him, and playing his dad.
That's cool.
Or no, playing the character's dad played.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a theory about, because I've been keeping my eye on Matt's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot remember her name for the life of me. Heather is her name.
She's doing great. I think she's handling things real well.
She's very stable.
Right. So I think this season or this episode is where I just figured out what they're doing with her narratively. She is going to become an actual supervillain.
Yeah.
By the end of the season, maybe a female version of Muse or something inspired by Muse.
That could be interesting. That could, yeah.
So I have a problem with her character. Broadly between both seasons, in that clearly she was added in the version 1 of Born Again and is, for lack of a better term, kind of a tumor character that she just doesn't fit precisely in what they came up with for the show we eventually got.
That's why she is in it intermittently.
Yeah, and she's still they're pushing that story, and I don't feel it's earned in some ways, just because she doesn't feel like she's in the same show as everyone else.
She didn't feel that way, or she felt that way to me in season 1.
Yeah,
But in
I feel
season
like
2, they've integrated her better.
I think
Yeah,
they've done a better job, but I think maybe just the lingering memories for me that like she still just is like a little bit out of
I
focus.
feel like she creates a good. I mean, for one thing, it is very canonical for Daredevil to have an ex who is causing some problems.
Right? Yeah, Daredevil has a problematic romantic history.
Who doesn't? You know,
That's fair. Guilty, Your Honor.
Yeah.
You know, when this one starts with Karen being in prison, or in jail rather, and then you know, Fisk coming up to her, and, you know, I was like, oh wait, is she gonna suddenly take more comic accurate kind of path? Because she's avoided that. She's gone the opposite direction for the most part.
Which
she's not been addicted to heroin. She's not become a sex worker. She's not you know, getting stabbed by Bullseye.
She is not the like just the kicked dog of
she's not getting AIDS. That's the other thing that they did. Yep.
I'm so glad we got this version of Karen Page because nothing good happens to her in the comics, and then she dies.
I have a feeling she's gonna die.
You think so?
Yeah.
We'll see. We got one episode left, right?
Yeah.
I do want to say that her and Heather's like catty bitch off was a good scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think that's why I think Karen's either gonna die or get really, really messed up by Heather.
I think Heather's gonna fuck her up.
And that's gonna be Heather's villain turn.
Yeah. Because Karen starts in on her, right? And then tries to empathize with her. And that when Karen tries to empathize her with like, yeah, Matt's kind of a fucked up guy, just like a little bit, that's when she fucking loses it. Like that is like the villain moment.
It's really when she says, but it's kind of hot, right?
Right, yeah. But you're into it, yeah.
So yeah, I think Heather is both going to find out that Matt is Daredevil.
I think she knows already.
I think she knows but doesn't know. Like she can't prove it, right?
So I think Fisk told her, and here's why. So I was trying to find out, and I'm pretty sure I have now. She mentioned when she's talking about the things like Karen's past crimes, brings up her shooting Wesley. A finite number of people know about that.
Yeah.
And none of them are the legal system.
Yeah.
And before that scene, she has a scene with Fisk where it's like, don't you hate lawyers? And it kind of fades to black.
Okay. So that's where
Fisk
he told
clued her in.
Right.
Yeah.
I got it. That makes sense. Yeah.
And like, because for her, she sees like Matt being now that she knows, right? Assuming that I'm correct. Him being Daredevil ruined their relationship because he went back to being Daredevil, and that's what fucked things up for them in her mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Karen thinks Daredevil's hot as fuck, and to be honest, same girl. But so that just like tweaked the dial a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That is not. It's not just he's picking up on it. Fisk is the guy who looks for that and
agitating
fucking
that,
targets it, and like, yes, I can use this. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely.
So I want to answer this question here. You think next season they're bringing back Elektra? No.
God,
we already know who they're bringing back. It's the set photos are out. I'm not going to spoil anything, but we know which characters are coming back, and none of them are Elektra.
Defender, I hardly know her.
Oh God, please. Elektra might be one of my least favorite comic book characters.
Yeah.
Like, I don't actively hate many, but she competes to get a spot in that list because
I mean, I will say that like Chip Zdarsky's run where she becomes a second, you know, kind of another Daredevil. It's probably the most interesting thing that's happened with her since I've been reading comics anyway. Like, you know, when I first got into reading a little bit about Daredevil, it was interesting to learn like, oh, she's this assassin that like she's not completely evil, but you know, so that's a cool dynamic. But that was basically the dynamic forever.
Yeah.
And so whenever she finally is like, I'm actually going to take, you know, he challenges her to like, okay, yeah, you can kill people, you can do all kinds of shit when you kill people, but like, what if you don't though?
What if you don't?
And she's takes a challenge, it's like wants to prove that she can do it, and that's far more compelling. And then she ends up starting to feel like the reward, the benefits of, just like not killing people and like actually helping people and shit. And that's a pretty interesting story.
I will have to read that because I heard about that. I think you told me about it, but it was like after Chip Zdarsky had written Batman, and I don't like his Batman.
Let me explain to you this. I understand why you wouldn't like the Batman. I can see somebody. His Daredevil run overall is, in my opinion, the best of any Daredevil.
There's
little pockets of great stories here and there over the years, but like as far as like a run, just start to end, fucking phenomenal. And it gets crazy.
I picked up his the first trade of his Captain America run. Fucking shit, dude, is that good? And the end of it made me cry.
Oh wow!
Like I wept. I was reading on my lunch break, and I am crying at the end.
I don't remember what happened in that, but
oh, it's so good. It's so.
Was that with the Colton guy?
Yeah, with Colton. Yeah. So for those who don't, the other Captain America, the Iraq War Captain America. Because they slid, for those who don't know, they slide the timeline as Marvel is wanting to do, where now the Avengers start after the Iraq War.
Yeah.
And Captain America
isn't unfrozen until after 9/11.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And so, but
right. And there's like some other guy, some redheaded guy who's been Captain America in the interim.
Yep.
Yeah. What's funny is when like once they get his style done, because the first few issues they don't have, and part of it is you're like jumping back and forth in his timeline. In the last couple issues, when they really like dig in on how they want to draw the guy, he kind of looks like what if Oliver Queen was Captain America, and like he's becoming increasingly like fuck the government, and I'm like, the spirit of Oliver Queen has entered this man.
So anybody that kind of pays attention is probably aware there is an event coming up with Marvel called I think Armageddon.
Yeah.
And that I'm guessing is going to be written by Chip Zdarsky because
I think it is.
So Colton is in that Cat book, but he's also, there's a miniseries I think just wrapped up called Weapons of Armageddon, which is
with him and Wolverine. Yeah.
And Colton is in that as well.
Yeah.
Like he just kind of not randomly, but like through the course of the plot, encounters Colton, who's at this point just kind of hiding away and trying not to, draw attention to himself. And it seems like he's getting drawn into the plot, and it's like, okay, so Zdarsky's got some plans for this guy. He's really committing to this character and going to do something with him, right?
I like him a lot. He's really cool. Is really well done. So like I'm gonna have to check out Zdarsky's Daredevil run because now I have my opinion of him has changed radically.
So I mean, it was so good that he left nothing for Saladin Ahmed to do, and that this is, from what I read and from all reports, it's just the worst run on Daredevil that came after. Because like, it's so bad. Well, but like, I'm talking, the thing starts with Daredevil accidentally killing a guy, and kind of wrestling with that, and that just kicks off to where I don't know how many issues later. He deals with the whole Fisk being mayor throughout the whole thing, and that war to take back New York City, as well as literally becoming him and Elektra becoming the leaders of the Fist, which is like the other half of the hand that nobody knew about or something. And then they have to take out the group that is calling themselves the Hand, which is literally led by Frank Castle at that point.
Oh right, it's okay. It's around then.
It gets crazy, but like it's really well done. Really well done.
So speaking of Captain America,
yeah,
I would like to note that this season of Daredevil has confirmed the existence of Danielle.
Yep.
I don't know what her last name is in the comics. Is it Cage? Okay, yep. Danielle Cage. Yeah, future Captain America.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I didn't think about that yet, but you're absolutely right. Yeah.
So, and they're teasing the return of Luke Cage. I would be shocked if we don't see him at the very end of episode 8 somehow. But she's been talking about her daughter, and her daughter is clearly biracial. And in this episode, she called her daughter Danielle.
Well, I mean, and then Charles literally said Luke Cage is in.
Luke is overseas doing the Lord's work or whatever.
There's a free comic book day issue dropping tomorrow. Hell yeah.
Yeah, if
Free
you get a
comic book day
chance
tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, I am working all day. I cannot go celebrate Free Comic Book Day. So you right there listening right now, if you are hearing this live, do it for me.
You know what? Before we get out of here, let's just take a quick look at what's going to be available. How about it?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Tomorrow is also, as is every Saturday, also Catter Day.
It is Catter Day.
So Free Comic Book Day and Catter Day don't come together very often.
They actually do, because it's
They do.
always the first Saturday in May.
Yeah.
Oh.
Every 52 Saturdays is another Saturday that is also Catter Day, that is also Free Comic Book Day. That's
Considering how often comic books come out, I would say that's not very often. So thank you.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Agree to
so
disagree.
We've got some random stuff as always. We got the Chimerian, Pool of the Black One, Robert E. Howard era. I mean, like that realm of things. Ultimate Oz Universe Volume 2, DC Aquaman Manatee. We're one of some kids' books, of course, which is great. DC X Sonic #1. Oh shit, I don't know if Oliver knows about that.
Ooh, you got something to do tomorrow.
Well, I mean, that was already it's just But
Oh, DC X Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh boy, that's good.
Yeah.
His birthday is in a couple of days, and that is definitely one of the things that we're gonna be checking out. So
That's awesome.
Next Level Sampler, Nice House on the Lake. Heard that's good. Horror story. Dynamite Entertainment. You got Stitch, Supernatural. Wow. Speaking of Supernaturals, you might have been watching The Boys, because we had a full-on Supernatural reunion last night. The other day.
I have never watched more than one episode of The Boys, unfortunately.
I am partway
That's why
through
we don't
season.
talk about it on here, because nobody else watches it but me.
It's not my vibe.
I'm gonna get Jen on here and talk about it or something.
Oh, that'd be cute. Do it.
Yeah, the show just is not for me. I've tried many times to get into it, and I just don't care.
It is a great show for someone who is not me.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
man,
like-
Cape Studios. So the stuff they've been doing lately with Flash Gordon has been pretty cool. I've read a little bit of that.
Sweet.
You know, I've got a little bit of interest in it, considering I did a video covering the whole thing.
You may have talked about that a little bit, yeah.
Oni Press, Conan the Barbarian, Tides of the Tyrant King. Cool.
Sweet.
Whole lot of stuff, like a whole lot of independent stuff that I've never heard of. And then
Yeah,
also,
it's a lot of cool stuff.
seemingly some manga, like Street Fighter manga and Mega Man. That's cool. Oliver's gonna be hyped about that. Yeah. Vault Comics, Dungeon Crawler. So wait, is this just everything? Well, no. Where the hell's the Marvels? Is there no Marvel channel? There's DC. I mean, I'm fine with it, but like, it's just kind of notable, right?
That's what the
It's
No,
I would be
'cause I-
surprised if they're not putting out a free comic. Marvel would be foolish not to, I think.
They have to. I mean,
they
they have-
announced it. They announced it back in December. Amazing Spider-Man 1000, Queen in Black #1, Armageddon X-Men #1.
But those are free comic books?
That's
yeah,
comic giveaway day. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Available 5/2.
Okay, so here's probably a more comprehensive list, even though that was actually the Free Comic Book Day website, so that's weird. But this definitely has Marvel.
So I noticed something. The Marvel stuff this year is branded Comics Giveaway Day. I wonder if there's some kind of legal shenanigans going on here.
Weird. Oh, man, I hope they're not doing something shitty like whenever they tried to own the term superhero.
Yeah.
Fucking stop it, Marvel. Stop it.
They will not.
So that's why their titles weren't listed on the Free Comic Book Day website.
Maybe so, yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Well, and I know that's one of those things that maybe I would love to look into why, because they're
so look at there, Alien, Predator, and Planet of the Apes. I think I
Yeah.
just wet my pants, dude.
I heard that
Three of
from
my favorite
here.
franchises ever.
I heard that from here somehow.
Yeah. Well, Predator, the Marvel's doing a full Predator Planet of the Apes crossover miniseries later this year.
fucking wild.
And if they also put Alien in that, it's going to be weird. Although I would really like to see Marvel move past doing comics only about the classic version of Planet of the Apes and do some that are set in the reboot continuity.
Sure.
So
I think that's a better fit for Predator.
Distribution,
Yeah.
Publishing rather is the one that's making the choice. It seems like. I mean, I'm sure, right? So that is just weird. And like, yeah, it's technically different, but like this is the first year that that's been the case. With there's been the logo Free Comic Book Day has been splattered across the tops of the covers of these comics since time immemorial.
But I can see Penguin doing that because they're that kind of weird.
And then I guess Marvel wouldn't really be in a position to do anything but that, I suppose.
Yeah, because if Penguin's the distributor, because that's Marvel's distributor now.
What's the point? I guess.
It's probably a tax thing.
Maybe, yeah. And I just like the idea of the one day a year, all the publishers being like, "This is Free Comic Book Day. We're all doing the same thing. Here's the It's no big, I don't know. By the way, I will say though that one thing I've noticed about Daredevil Born Again is they've finally been doing something I feel like they should have been doing for a long time and just haven't, which is like, for example, on the show, what they do is before each episode, there's a QR code for a comic book.
Yep. I love that.
And then like I've said for the years, like, why don't they have before the movies at theaters, like have a fucking comic book, like give them a free comic book. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world. It's weird that they haven't been doing that, and hopefully they do it more. But
and I know on the DC side that that Warner Brothers has been doing that with the Superman stuff now for a little bit too.
Yeah, they've generally been much better on that kind of cross promoting stuff.
And like it's free to make a QR code. Let's be real.
Diamond used to own the branding, but that's
it's okay. So it's Diamond's fault. Okay, once again, fuck Diamond.
Fuck Diamond. Yeah. Wow.
I hate Diamond. All my homies hate Diamond.
None of my homies fuck with Diamond. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, what is Free Comic Book Day? Well, the title's pretty self-explanatory. Go to a comic shop, probably stand in a line, and then where the comics are specifically, explicitly stated to be free, you take one of each.
I might go to the local comic book store and find the Alien Predator Planet of the Apes comic.
And if there's a limit, do not get more than the limit.
Yep. And also, if you're going to Free Comic Book Day, I know it's called Free Comic Book Day, and you're going to get free comics, but there's something else you need to do that's mission critical. Buy something else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because because you don't know, because it's called Free Comic Book Day, the comic book store pays for those.
Okay, so we got an explanation here, I think. So what happened to Free Comic Book Day? In 2020, as the COVID-19 pandemic began to grow, North America's primary and in most ways exclusive distributor of comic book stores, Diamond, announced it was shutting down for weeks, possibly months. That left in question the delivery of comic books, as well as all the money tied up in Diamond as the middleman between comic publishers and comic stores. This, just months before the Free Comic Book Day, led to a chain of events that resulted in several comic book publishers breaking ties with Diamond to work with other distributors. That's when Marvel broke from that could deliver during the pandemic era, and whom they could more reliably count on fiscally. Fast forward to early 2026, where we are now, and North American comic books distribution has gone from a near monopoly, into being a fractured marketplace following the bankruptcy of Diamond, with comic stores ordering from multiple distributors, one distributor for Marvel, another for DC, and so on. In that radically changed market, ownership of Free Comic Book Day fell to a Canadian company, Universal Distribution, which bought some of Diamond's assets following a bankruptcy sale. Whereas in recent years, comic publishers without deals of the largest distributors, Penguin Random House, decided to break out on their own with another Free Comics Giveaway Day, succinctly called Comics Giveaway Day. As of 2026, free. So okay, that makes me feel better. It's not like just a fucking cold ass capitalist move.
It's keeping the tradition going as the legalese. So like for those who don't know, like this whole Diamond bankruptcy thing has been fucking sketchy as fuck. Because major publishers like Marvel and DC, as well as like small role-playing game studios and independent comic studio or comic companies who were distributing Diamond, they have what's called consignment, where like you're renting their warehouse space from them to store your merch. They might distribute it for you, but they don't always. But you still own it as the company. Their bankruptcy manager, I forget what the role is called. It's slipping my mind because I'm tired. Basically just started liquidating everyone's assets to pay for the bankruptcy.
Jesus.
And so Alliance and Diamond have basically robbed every game company and every comic book company you've ever heard of. So fuck Diamond.
Yep.
With a diamond.
And also, if you're somebody who believes the kind of shit that Eric July says, when he covered this, like last year, when we covered that, his whole thing was to say like, oh, look, this just shows how the comic book industry is screwed, you know? And it's like, wait, no, this is actually great that Diamond is, you know, not going to be Diamond, basically not the stuff you were just saying, but like the fact that Diamond is not the distributor anymore. You want to watch a really great video that explains all this, the history of distribution, Comic Tropes has an excellent one about Diamond and their monopoly and, you know, all that. So just check Comic Tropes anyway.
Yeah,
but
they do good work.
I'm going to get out of here.
Me too.
Me too.
Mark. Subscribe to Bob of the Old Ways. Subscribe to another guy completely unrelated, Armchair Black Belt.
Yeah, no relation.
Yeah, totally unrelated. I hear he has a video coming out probably this week about it's a grand tour of the subgenre of martial arts westerns going all the way back to the 1960s.
Nice. Subscribe to EdgierThanThou.
Yes.
Indeed. Do all that. Also, check out that QR code in the corner. You know what that is right there? That's the channel. That's the new thing. That's the thing. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, y'all have a lovely free comic book day / comics giveaway day, which, by the way, another thing here says that as of this year, they're not discernible by any practical consideration. They're on the same day. Comic shops are doing them both. They might just see different branding, but functionally all the same thing. So
that's good.
And oh wait, I gotta get me a outro video ready real quick. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah. All right. Peace out, y'all.
Peace out.
But imagine a giant Joe Rogan pussy right up there, like I mean, elevated,
like a jellyfish.
teleported up into Joe Rogan's vagina. I want the memes of Joe Rogan's vagina. You imagine how big it's about to be.